Are you tired of making boring and ugly menus for your Scratch games? Well, by the end of this video, you'll go from this to this. Stick around to learn how to do it. So starting out here, go ahead and create a brand new Scratch project. And go to the Scratch Cat sprite, delete Costume 2, and then delete the Scratch Cat from Costume 1. Once you do this, you're going to go ahead and adjust the colors in the rectangle tool to be gray with a black outline. Once you do this, you're going to draw a simple rectangle. And I'm also going to teach you a trick right now that's very cool on how to make rounded edges for your play buttons. This is going to give them a much better appearance and it'll make it a lot more pleasing to look at. So go ahead and click on this reshape tool, and you're going to go ahead and click on the areas around the corners of this button. And then once you do that, go ahead and click on the corner, hit the curves button, and then say delete. That will give you these nice rounded edges, and you're just going to repeat this process for all 4 corners. Once you do this, go ahead and go to the text tool, and we're going to get a nice dark gray color, and then we're going to write the word play. And then just adjust the size to however big you think it needs to be. Go ahead and center it back up. And then after you do this, go back to the code tab, and then go ahead and drag out a when green flag clicks block. And then underneath this, say go to x0, y -100, drag out a forever loop, and then an if then else statement. And then in the if part of the statement, say if touching mouse pointer, then we're going to change the size by 110 minus our current size divided by 3. I know that sounds confusing, but just try your best to follow along on what's on the screen. So say change size by 110 minus size divided by 3. Go ahead and duplicate that block right there and change the 110 to 100, just like so. And now we can go ahead and make it full screen and see what happens. And boom, just like you see, as soon as we hover over our play button, it's going to get a little bit bigger, and then when we go away, it's going to get smaller. But it's nice and smooth, and there's no like janky movement there. And then go ahead and create a new sprite. And then this is going to be for our text, and we're going to make a cool floating text effect that's really cool, so you're going to want to stick around to see that. Just have whatever menu text you want to have, make it as big as you want, center it up there. And then we're going to go ahead and find a good spot for this. I think around there looks good. So go ahead and say, when green flag clicked, go to x0, y55. That's going to position it nicely on the screen. Then after you do this, go ahead and go to the variables and say set my variable to 0, and then a forever loop, and then you're going to say change my variable by 6.3, and then you're going to say change y by the sign of our variable. And what this is going to do, it's going to take the sign of our variable, and the variable is going to be constantly changing. So we're going to be moving along our little sine waves there, and just like that, it creates that nice floating effect for you. Very cool, but it's still looking a little bit bland, so we're going to sauce it up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and make a cool background for our game. I'm thinking some nice green hills with the sky would look cool. And you can just let your creativity run wild on this one. Like, you can make whatever you want, honestly. I'm just going to stick to some nice green hills with some blue sky. And yeah, so we're going to draw that real quick. Just select a nice green color for your hills with the circle tool, and then we're just going to go ahead and drag out some hills. Make some hills right there. Then we're going to select both of those and then copy and paste it to make it a little bit darker, because we want to add some depth to our art. So we're going to go ahead and add like hills in the background, for example. And then once you go ahead and do this, we're just going to change things up a little bit to make it look a little bit nicer. Just clean things up a bit, move these around a little bit. Drag them over, maybe flip that around just like that. And then go ahead and go back to the rectangle tool and then select a nice very light blue color for the sky. This is going to be a very pleasant color to look at here. Just make that a little bit saturation lower, make it a little lighter, and boom, just like that, drag out the sky and then just hit the back button, and boom, we have our nice hills with our nice blue sky. Looks very good. And then go ahead and go back to the cool game text, and then we're just going to change it to a nice white color. And just like that, it's looking very good. We can go ahead and test this out. But I don't know about you, but I think the gray play button's a little bit boring. So we're going to take some inspiration from the YouTube logo, and we're going to make it a nice red and white. And speaking of red and white buttons, if you have not subscribed already and this video is helping you out, I would very much appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you so much. So go ahead and just change the fill color to red, and then change the play text to white. And there, it's looking a lot better now. So now I can just go ahead and test this out and look at it, and it looks very cool. If we hover over the play button, it gets bigger and it's nice and smooth. Now I know this isn't the most interesting menu, but this kind of gives you a good foundation to build off of and just let your creativity run wild. And before I sign off for this video, we're going to go ahead and make, say, underneath the if touching mouse pointer, say if mouse down. Then we're going to broadcast a message, start game, and that's going to give you a nice starting point to whatever project you want to put this in. And anyways guys, that is going to be it for today's video, and thank you very much for watching, and go comment what your favorite part was or what projects you're going to make using this tutorial. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.